back, relax, and maybe get yourself a snack. Me and you gonna have a little chat about books. Hey guys, I'm here today to do another review of one of my SBFBO titles. If you don't know what the SBFBO is, I'll link my introduction post down below so you can go and check it out, and I'll also link any other reviews that I've already uploaded. This book is the first one I actually ended up reading for SBFBO, and it is called What the Echoes Say. This one is a world-spanning epic story. The writing flies by pretty quickly, and in fact it spans a very wide world with lots of different viewpoints, and all of them weave together into a story about a world haunted by a new threat and in an ongoing wartime. There's magic at an academy where anyone who sort of shows signs of channeling magic gets sent, and there's also different creatures who come in various sizes and shapes throughout the world. We also have a nefarious sentient being who appears to be meddling and pulling a lot of strings behind the scenes, particularly when it comes to the crown and the politics of this world. We follow a couple of different characters, but I would say our main characters consisted of Kel, who is a young man from a family. We see a couple of his other family members too. He's very loyal, he wants to be there for his friend, and he just wants to do the right thing at the end of the day. We also have Annie, who is a princess. She has actually shown signs of channeling magic, and therefore she's on her way to the academy when we meet her to see what she can do, whether she's going to become a sort of magi character or whether she's going to go back to her life as a royal, or whether she can blend the two. And we also have a lost heir to a throne, who I won't name necessarily because it's a little bit of a part of the story, but there is a lost heir to the throne who is part of this as well. As I mentioned, we do also see Kel's wider family, and there are a couple of other viewpoint characters such as Usha and other characters around the world, but the main ones are those that I've listed, and those are the ones who really see a lot of action throughout the book. So a couple of pros that I really liked about this book. The beginning of this book starts off with an absolute bang. I felt like I was really getting into things fast, things were moving quickly, everything was happening at a fun, exciting pace, and I really liked that I just got instantly snapped into the story without an issue. I also like the family dynamics. We're following this mother and father and their kids as they are escaping from the war, and they are then kind of entwined in working towards resolving the war, or maybe doing some secret missions that might help people on certain sides and so on. And I like that we got to see all their different viewpoints. I do think it would have been fun to see a little bit more, particularly of Kira and Kaya, who are the female characters. I do feel like I was really lacking their story, and I would have liked to see an awful lot more of them. But with that being said, I do think that just seeing lots of viewpoints from the family made it feel really nice that I could connect with different characters within that family dynamic and see how each of them was reacting to the tragic events unfolding around them. I think we also have a nice friendship in this book. Kel, Nick and Javed, who are a sort of trio, they've grown up together, they're best buddies, and they really would do anything for one another, and they want to help each other out all the time. And I really like that dynamic of just being there for your friend no matter what and believing in them, and I do think that the three of them embody just being the best friends ever. I also think that Annie and Usha have a nice relationship over the book as well, and we kind of see the two of them forming a really strong bond from when they start helping each other and working together too. I do think the pacing of this one is quick. It never felt boring. It always felt like something was happening and we'd quickly switch between character to character, so there was always something going on in here, and it never felt like I was sitting there waiting to get to the end of a section or anything like that. A couple of things that didn't work quite as well for me, but still weren't necessarily bad. I did feel like the characters didn't really connect with me as much as I wanted, considering we have quite a few different characters and we do spend a fair bit of time with some of them. I didn't feel like I really truly got to know any of them. None of them felt completely believable to me, and therefore I just didn't have that kind of fear or worry about them when they went into harder situations. I felt like I was just reading a book that I was enjoying, but I wasn't really like there living it with the characters. When we did get sort of inside thoughts into them, I felt like I enjoyed it, but I would have liked a bit more. I wanted to see more of who they really were and what they were really feeling. I do think at points in this book there is an element of the action overtaking everything else. There is a lot of fighting and fight scenes, and there were some moments where I felt like maybe it could have been more explained, or more of the politics could have come through, or more of the family dynamic or the friend dynamic could have come through over action. There was definitely a lot of fighting and a lot of moments where I felt like, oh, maybe this could have been trimmed down a little bit. It wouldn't necessarily have been a bad thing to have a few more moments of like slower reflection, I think. One other thing is that I didn't feel like everything in this book is particularly original or unique. It does play off tropes, which is not a bad thing, but it just didn't feel like it was doing them in an original new way to me. It just felt like I had seen a lot of similar things in the past over the wealth of fantasy that I've read. It's not necessarily bad because that often happens when I read fantasy now, but I do feel like I didn't feel there was a real sense of uniqueness about this one. And the ending felt a little bit like an unknown to me. There isn't actually listed to be a second book yet, but I do feel like there is potential for a second book. We're definitely left with questions and, you know, things that could go on. So is there going to be a second? I don't know. But could there be a second? Absolutely. Would I read it? I don't know. Possibly. I ended up giving this one a 3.25 out of 5, which works out at like 6.5 out of 10 for the SBFBO. I did enjoy it. I definitely found like I had some really fun times, especially with the first half of reading it. I liked that a lot. And then I think it just got a little bit bogged down in action scenes rather than character scenes for me, and I did feel as though I lost the momentum a little bit with it. Not necessarily a bad book by any means. The writing is great and I enjoyed myself with it, but I didn't feel like it really drew me in and like captivated me as much as I wanted. So that's my only real criticism of it. If you're looking for something that is a very fast-paced and world expansive, big multi-POV storyline, I think you could really like this. It is fast, it is quick, and if you like action scenes, there's a lot of them. So if that appeals to you, then I think you could really enjoy this, and I hope you will go and pick it up. As always, I will put all the links below to other SPFBO stuff, and I would love to hear if you guys are interested in picking this one up, or if you have, what did you think of it? Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video very soon. Bye!
Thank you for watching my video today. Go pick up a book, then come back and chat with me again.